Hola, bienvenidos amigos una vez más a Ópera en tu sofá, un programa donde compartimos nuestra cultura, nuestra herencia hispana. We're very happy to share with you our Hispanic culture through these programs. And today we have a guest that works very close to Words and Music program. I will let my guest talk about this program. My guest is Mario Ramírez. And as you know, San Diego Opera uh, goes into schools and teaches children about vocal training, operatic singing, composition, instrument playing, a lot of different things. It encompasses a lot. And this particular artist that we have today with us, he's a pianist, he's Mario Ramírez, and he's from San Diego. And he's been working with a company for at least 5 years. So welcome Mario, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, Andrea. Thank you for having me.
Bienvenido. I'm gonna make you some questions. So, first of all, en español, ¿de dónde son tus papás y dónde naciste?
Mi mamá es de Acámbaro, Guanajuato. Mi papá, su familia es originalmente de Durango, pero él creció en Tijuana. Y yo nací aquí en San Diego, California.
So, you heard him. I don't have to translate that. His mom is from Guanajuato and his dad is from Durango,
Durango.
and born in San Diego. Okay, so tell us. I know that you've been working with John Gabriel in Words and Music, the program that we have for children. Sorry, this is how you call this?
The thunder.
A thunder, because it's raining right now in Mexico City. But let's continue. So you've been working with the company for 5 years. Tell us a little bit about the story, how you got involved.
Absolutely. So I came to work with John Gabriel and the Words and Music program via meeting Serafín Paredes, who was a professor of mariachi at University of San Diego, which was the school that I graduated from. So he kind of put us together and thought it would be a good chemistry for his classroom to bring me in. I've gotten to work with some amazing singers who are even better teachers and sharers of art. And it's been really incredible for me. For over the 5 years, Memorial has been the one school that I've consistently been at every year. And just to see the impact that San Diego Opera has had on these kids, on their families, and on the community on a bigger level, just in terms of learning other languages, learning to tell stories through music, coming to see an opera at San Diego Opera at the Civic Theater. These are just experiences that I can see their eyes just getting this big because it's new worlds for them.
That's wonderful, Mario. And tell us, are these kids, what grades are they in?
This is a middle school. Memorial Prep is a middle school, so we mainly work with 6th through 8th graders. The past 5 years has always been the same. We have 2 classes, so one class of just 6th graders, which switches out at the semester, so that kind of works as a fundamental course. And then our 7th and 8th grade class, who stays with us the whole school year, and we end up having kind of a bigger production with them at the end of the year, which they really enjoy and look forward to.
So I am interested in you telling us, for example, what do the kids learn? What do you do with them? Like, let's say that I'm telling the grandmother of a kid that is in your school and says, oh, Doña Juanita, su niño va a aprender, su niño, your kid is gonna learn blah, blah, blah. So what, like in 2 years, from point A to point Z, what do they learn?
I think it's a really unique answer for every single kid, because I've seen kids take away so much in 3 months, and I've seen some kids who take away very different things that I wasn't even expecting them to take away from the program. So I would say that our goal for them to learn is simply to learn how to sing. And I think to learn how to sing encompasses a lot of different things, especially at that age. So we always start off with a theory fundamental. We teach them how to read the fundamentals of music, quarter notes, measures, piano and forte, all those kinds of things. And then we progress to ultimately trying to get them to sing songs. I don't know how many people have worked with middle schoolers, but middle schoolers aren't the most talkative group, especially when it comes to singing. So that in and of itself is really has been a challenge and has been rewarding to see them go from kids who stay very shy and very timid in class to at the end of the semester singing beautiful songs with their peers. You know, so it's really it's case by case, but I would say our goal is to teach them how to sing and how to learn to tell stories through music.
So have you, let me ask you this, have you, in these 5 years that you've been teaching, have you been moved by some of these stories of these kids? What are the stories about?
Oh, 100%. I think it's, it's really interesting. Opera is dramatic, right? We know this. And it's really interesting for example, for us to come in and explain an opera and to then see the kids draw parallels to their own life, between this dramatic opera and their own life and their own heartbreak and their own pain and problems with their home and parents and stuff like that, So for me, it's been unbelievably fulfilling to see these kids grow and mature and emotionally develop, as people, as teenagers. So I can't really put into words. I just know that it's the reason that I keep showing up year after year. And, even though sometimes it seems very, very challenging, it's something that I don't think I'll ever find a substitute for in my life is what I get from these kids.
Well, you have our admiration from San Diego Opera. We know that one of our, one of the consequences or the beauty of listening to opera is that, to be able to recognize your own
Mm.
emotions and feelings and, see them going through them. So I'm very, very glad that you guys are doing this amazing work. And just so our audience knows, what's the percentage of Latino kids or Hispanic kids in La Maestra? And I mean, I'm sorry, in Memorial
Mm-hmm.
Prep. And I know that you also go to Lincoln. So,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of a school are we talking about?
Absolutely. At Memorial Prep, the Latino culture is very prominent. I would say at least 90%. You have a couple kids of other walks of life, but the Latinos are the dominant group there, 100%.
Oh, no, 97%, like
Fácil.
97%.
I mean, in my class, I can tell you that in my 5 years, and I can still remember the 4 or 5 kids that I have had that I've come across with that weren't Mexican, so or Latin American, to kind of broaden it a bit. So no, I would say at Memorial is very prominent. At Lincoln High School, where we were at this year as well, it's a little bit less. It's a little bit more diverse, which makes for another really great element, I think. But it's still very prominent. I would say at Lincoln, you're probably looking at least 50-60%. So.
Okay, that's great. So I know that you have a little gift for us, present, which is a video of some of your students, and this just happened a week ago, so within COVID time, which is
That's right.
challenging. So tell us a little bit about this video, and then we will go and listen to it.
So this is a performance that me and 3 students who I met at Memorial Prep through the Words and Music program at San Diego Opera. These kids have graduated from Memorial. The younger ones 2 years ago, the oldest one 4 years ago, but they're kids that are still very much a part of my life. They've become family to me. Just a quick side story, I'll tell you that they came and played for my grandfather's 90th birthday party. So that's when my family got to meet these students who I met through this program. And like I said, they really are more than students to me. They're part of my extended family. So they joined my piano students that I have. I have a private music studio that I did a front yard quarantine concert for. Obviously, my students have still been working really hard. Everybody feels even more isolated because we've been doing it through this kind of a communication instead of, in person and doing the kind of work that we're normally used to. So I really wanted to give them an opportunity to come together in a safe setting. We had, socially distanced front yard seating and stuff for everybody, and everybody wore masks, and it was a really, really great event. I'm so grateful for all the families that contributed to make sure that it was possible. And what I'll be sharing with you is actually a guest appearance from these 3 musicians who came out in their full mariachi attire to join me for an arrangement of Sabor a Mí, which is a beautiful song, and hopefully we did it justice.
Okay, so let's listen to Sabor a Mí with Mario Ramirez's students.
And I'd like to name them just so you know, it's Giovanni, Brandon, and Leonardo Heredia.
Okay, and this is, by part of our programs in school.
Absolutely.
So let's do that. Let's listen to the music. Okay, so we're back. We're back with your talented students. We're back with you, and thank you for your work. You know, teaching kids and teaching music. It's not that easy, you know, especially when you are in middle school. Anyway, so Mario, let me ask you. This is more a specific question, and growing up in San Diego as a Hispanic kid, you know, what does it mean to you to be a Latin man, a Hispanic man, a man that speaks Spanish and that appreciates the American culture but comes from another culture, and you are like the perfect hybrid. So tell us, what does that mean?
No, I appreciate that picture being painted, and I'm glad that that's the image that I can give off. I will say that I think you said the perfect word. You know, I appreciate both elements of my Mexican heritage, my American nationality. I'm very grateful. I'm very proud of being Mexican. I think I get that from my parents and from my family. I think I've had very hardworking figures, very proud figures who have done right by our culture and are very proud examples of that culture. So that's something that I plan on carrying on in everything that I do. But it's also, there's a flip side to it, right? You know, there's also that here you're not just American, it's Mexican American, you know, and in Mexico you're not really Mexican, you're güerito, you're you're more
You're a
American than
typical
anything.
Mexican.
Yeah, more than anything, you know. So I think I've been really fortunate, and it's truly where I think I get my appreciation from music. I think it's just something that breaks down barriers. It's like breaking bread with someone, you know, when you're sitting down to listen to music. uh, Cultures and socioeconomic status and all those things kind of disappear for a second. You know, it's not that they're not there, but you can forget about them. And I think that's really magical. You know, I actually had a very unique upbringing. I was homeschooled K through 12, and I grew up in North Park. So some of my closest peers weren't Mexican, you know, but it really, I think it also kind of just opened my eyes to, even though I was very Mexican and very proud, I could connect with people of other cultures always, you know, and it's something that I've really thrived in doing. So, you know, my first kind of experience out into the real world was going to San Diego City College here and then transferring over to USD and finding a place like the USD Mariachi at USD, where it's probably one of the most Caucasian universities in San Diego. You know, it was a sanctuary for me almost, you know, just a reuniting with my culture. So it's been waves, you know. I've never had a day where I'm not happy being who I am and very proud of being who I am, but there's definitely days where it's a little bit more challenging than others, and you got to kind of remind yourself of, you know, the things that you're proud of.
What a beautiful answer, you know, to feel proud of of both worlds, you know, and inhabit them. And I know a lot of Mexicans that are very proud of their parents and the effort that they did by, you know, uh, by being in America and working really hard. So thank you for your honest answer. I find that also fascinating, you know, this kind of hybrid. I have a son and he was born in Mexico but grew up in the States. And I see those two sides, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and they are very important for him. Well,
Absolutely.
that's what he is. This.
Mm-hmm.
So, talking about this, I imagine that you are like a figure to follow for these students that we have in the schools that you go and teach. So do you find yourself mentoring a lot?
Absolutely. I think mentorship and youth development are some of the pillars of my life. Aside from teaching music, I coach soccer. I tutor kids. I coach a mock trial team where students are learning the legal processes of trying to become attorneys and stuff like that. So there is a big element of my life that's dedicated to mentorship and to youth development. And what I've found refreshing, especially now as an adult, is how much that has reinvigorated my artistry, you know, and my passion for learning and to seek knowledge. I've had a couple piano lessons with our own Nick Reveles, you know, just because I myself am not done learning, you know, and I want to keep improving so that I can keep offering more. So I absolutely do. It's a responsibility that I do not take lightly. And I hopefully I can keep making these kids, and if I can inspire them to do one good thing, you know, then I'm happy.
Awesome, super. Okay, so now we're gonna listen to another little excerpt here, and this is a rehearsal of a song called Malagueña. So can you tell us a little bit about it, and then we will go and listen to the video.
Sure. So this is the same three students that we saw in the last video, but this is them rehearsing before the concert here at my house. You can even see my dog walking around in the background. So they're here, and again, everybody's, I think, just excited to be around people and practicing music again, because it's been so isolated for so long, that inviting them to come rehearse. And once their parents saw that I had my hand sanitizer and masks and I was being safe too, they felt a little bit more relaxed. So it's been challenging, you know, to bring musicians together safely, but we managed to do it. We managed to get some rehearsals in so that they could go out and do it amazing on stage.
Okay, so now we're gonna listen to Malagueña with Mario's students. Can you tell us their names again?
Yep, this is Giovanni is the oldest brother, and then Brandon and Leonardo are the twins, and these are the Heredia brothers.
Okay, let's do that.
Bonitos ojos tienes, debajo de esas dos cejas, debajo de esas dos cejas, qué bonitos ojos tienes. Ellos me quieren mirar, pero si tú no los dejas, pero si tú no los dejas, ni siquiera parpadear. Malagueña, salerosa. Esa labios quisiera, besar tus labios quisiera, malagueña salerosa. Y decirte, niña hermosa.
Okay, we're back, and unfortunately, we have to finish our program. But Mario, is there anything you would like to add before we say goodbye?
I think I would just like to thank San Diego Opera, the Words and Music program, and of course, all the generous people that donate and contribute to make sure that these amazing educational programs can continue, because there are families who really look forward to the things that us as artists and our organizations like San Diego Opera can do in the community. So just thank you for your role in that as an ambassador for the organization, and hopefully we can continue the amazing work.
Thank you. Yes, let's continue this amazing work, and thank you for your time and your kind words, for sharing with us your students. And this is Ópera en tu sofá, and we'll see you next program. Thank you to all our supporters, of course, and special thank for Bank of America. Thank you.